Hello and welcome to the TEEB course at Yale University. TEEB stands for The Economics of Ecosystems and Biodiversity. This was a G8+5 project which was supported by the European Commission and Germany and hosted eventually by the United Nations Environment Programme before being presented in its final form last year at Nagoya in Japan at the Convention on Biological Diversities. TEEB represents an effort by a large community of experts to recognize that we have a big problem due to the economic invisibility of nature. TEEB also represents a way of formulating solutions and presenting them to end users, to the decision makers. And this is why there is not actually one TEEB report, but there are 4 TEEB reports. There's one which compiles and puts together the ecological and economic foundations. There's another one which is called TEEB for Policymakers, which addresses the key issues in policy which are related to biodiversity and its loss and the loss and degradation of ecosystem services. There's a third report which addresses these issues but at the local level, in other words, for cities, for municipalities, for provinces, and addresses local policymakers and local managers. And finally, there's a fourth report which talks directly to the corporate decision maker, to the CEO and the CFO, about the risks and the opportunities and the need to disclose corporate impacts on biodiversity. The TEEB course at Yale follows this structure. And what we have done here is to in fact use some of the original authors of the TEEB study to be your lecturers. So you will find, for example, when we talk about the ecological and economic foundations, that Tom Barker from Liverpool will be speaking with you about the ecology. You will have Mike Christie from Aberystwyth in Wales, who is one of the co-authors, talking to you about valuation and describing exactly how that is done. And finally, you'll have Rich Howarth, who is from Dartmouth Covell. And Professor Howarth was the one who was the lead author of TEEB's chapter on discounting. When it comes to TEEB for policymaking, we have 2 institutions, Conservation International, which is deeply engaged with many governments and assists them in programs for policymaking, and we have the Convention on Biological Diversity itself. So Andrew Rosenberg, who is CI's chief scientist, together with his team, Rosemary Portela and Aaron Brunner, will describe to you how exactly policymaking can respond to the loss of ecosystems and biodiversity, whether it is to do with fisheries policies or whether it is to do with introducing payments for ecosystem services or whether it's to do with informed decision-making about protected areas. At the lower level, at the next level, which is the province and the state or the city or the municipality, we have the lead author of the report, the TEEB report, Heidi Whitmer, who is from UFZ in Germany. And she will describe to you what makes local projects work or not, what needs to be done on the ground to reflect the value of nature and to implement solutions for change. And finally, TEEB for Business. We have the lead author of that report. That's Dr. Josh Bishop. Josh was earlier at the IUCN and is now at the WWF. And he will describe to you the risks and the opportunities on the space of biodiversity and ecosystems for corporations, and also about how they can respond to these values. Finally, nothing works without communication. So we also have Trista Patterson addressing to you what is, if you like, the 5th report of TEEB, which is just a website called TEEB for Me. And Trista speaks with you about what needs to be recognized is the importance of communications and the manner of communications in getting across to these various different decision makers. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a course which is at the graduate level, which is available from us here at Yale University, 26 lectures altogether. For each of those lectures, please set aside something like an hour and 20 minutes because they are that long. And for each of these lectures, if you're interested, do log in to the little clip of 3 minutes which gives you a sense, a highlight of what that lecture is about. For those who are interested, universities or institutions, in conducting a similar course or making more use of this, or interested in having the means of providing a syllabus or providing a reading list, please do write to us here at Yale, pavan.sukhdev@yale.edu. Enjoy the course. Thank you.